Emma, with her warm smile and soft laughter, drew Jackson in. Soon, they were sharing more than just small talk. As the weeks passed, their casual encounters turned into something deeper. They both found themselves in marriages that had lost their spark, and while they cherished the bonds they had with their spouses, they also felt a void that was becoming harder to ignore. Jackson, a graphic designer with a penchant for adventure, often daydreamed about a life filled with passion and excitement. Emma, a writer with a love for storytelling, poured her feelings into her work, crafting tales of romance and desire that she felt were missing from her own life. One evening, after a particularly engaging discussion about their favorite books, Emma took a deep breath and broached the topic that had been lingering between them. "Jackson," she started hesitantly, "what if we were to explore something different? Something more?" Jackson looked at her, a mix of curiosity and caution in his eyes. "What do you mean?" he asked, leaning in closer. "I mean, what if we became friends with benefits? We both know we have needs that aren't being met, and we seem to have a connection. It could be a way to fulfill those desires without complicating our marriages," Emma explained, her heart racing at the thought of what she was suggesting. Jackson considered her words carefully. The idea was both thrilling and terrifying. "You're saying we could have something physical, without it becoming emotional?" he asked, trying to gauge her intentions. Emma nodded, her cheeks flushing slightly. "Exactly. We could keep it light, just two friends helping each other out. No strings attached." After a moment of silence, Jackson finally replied, "I think it could work. But we'll need to set some ground rules." They spent the next hour discussing boundaries, ensuring that both felt comfortable with the arrangement. They agreed to keep their encounters discreet, never involving their spouses, and always being honest with each other about their feelings. The excitement of their decision electrified the air around them. Their first meeting as friends with benefits was set for the following weekend. Emma spent the days leading up to it in a frenzy of nervous anticipation. She bought new lingerie, something sultry and daring that she hoped would impress Jackson. She imagined how the evening would unfold, and how exhilarating it would feel to finally act on the chemistry that had been building between them. When the day arrived, Emma arrived at Jackson's apartment, her heart pounding. The atmosphere was charged with an unspoken tension as they greeted each other at the door. Emma's heart raced at his words, the sincerity in his tone making her feel cherished in a way she hadn't experienced in years. "Show me," she whispered, emboldened by their mutual longing. With a subtle nod, Jackson guided her onto the bed, the soft sheets inviting them into a world of intimacy. He took his time, savoring every moment as he traced his fingers along her arms, shoulders, and down her sides. Each caress sent shivers coursing through her body, awakening every nerve ending as he explored her with a gentle reverence. "Tell me what you like," he requested, his voice low and sultry. Emma's breath quickened as she felt the heat of his body above her. "I like it when you touch me here," she guided his hand to her waist. "And here," she added, leading him to the curve of her hip. Jackson responded with a soft smile, his eyes darkened with desire as he followed her instructions. He kissed a trail down her neck, his lips grazing her skin, eliciting soft moans from her. Each kiss was deliberate, as if he were mapping out every inch of her body, and Emma surrendered to the sensations flooding her. As Jackson's lips traveled lower, Emma's heart raced in anticipation. He paused, looking up at her, seeking permission before continuing. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, an unspoken bond formed between them, a promise of trust and exploration. "Please," Emma breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. With her encouragement, Jackson took his time, planting kisses along her collarbone and down her chest. He reveled in the softness of her skin, taking in the way she responded to his touch. Emma arched her back, urging him on, lost in the pleasure he was giving her. Jackson's mouth found her breast, and he took his time there, teasing her with gentle kisses and flicks of his tongue. Emma gasped, her hands tangling in his hair as she encouraged him with soft whispers. "Just like that, don't stop." The intimacy of the moment enveloped them, creating a cocoon where they could explore their desires without reservation. "Jackson." Jackson shifted his focus, trailing kisses down her stomach, each brush of his lips igniting a fire within her. Emma's body responded instinctively, every kiss sending ripples of pleasure coursing through her. "Jackson," she called out, her voice thick with longing. He paused, looking up at her, searching for any sign of hesitation. But all he found was the desperate need reflected in her eyes. She wanted him, and he wanted her just as fiercely. "Tell me what you want," he urged, his voice husky with desire. "I want you to make me feel good," she confessed, her words igniting a spark of urgency in the air. Jackson moved with purpose, positioning himself between her legs. He took a moment to gaze at her, a look of awe crossing his face as he took in the beauty of the woman before him. Then, slowly, he began to explore, his lips and hands working in perfect harmony to bring her closer to the edge of ecstasy. As the weeks turned into months, Emma and Jackson established a routine. They would meet once a week, sometimes at Jackson's apartment, sometimes at Emma's, always keeping their encounters fresh and exciting. They experimented, exploring each other's desires and boundaries, finding joy in the physical connection that had been missing from their lives. However, as time passed, the lines between friendship and something deeper began to blur. Emma found herself thinking about Jackson outside their encounters. She cherished the moments they spent together, their shared laughter and the way he made her feel alive. Jackson, too, found himself increasingly drawn to Emma, her wit and creativity captivating him more than he had anticipated. One evening, after a particularly passionate encounter, they lay together, tangled in each other's arms. The silence was comfortable, but Emma felt the need to address the unspoken feelings that lingered between them. "Jackson," she began, her voice barely above a whisper, "do you think we're crossing a line?" "What do you mean?" he asked, propping himself up on one elbow to look at her. "I mean, this started as just physical, but I can't help but feel like it's becoming more for me," she confessed, her heart racing. Jackson's expression shifted, and for a moment, Emma feared she had made a mistake. "I've been feeling the same way," he admitted, his gaze steady. "But I didn't want to complicate things." They both understood the risks involved. They were still married, and the implications of their growing feelings could have serious consequences. Yet, the connection they had forged was undeniable, and it left them both at a crossroads. "Maybe we should take a step back," Emma suggested, her voice trembling slightly. "Just to figure things out." Jackson nodded, though it was clear that neither wanted to end what they had. "Let's not rush into anything. We can keep things physical for now and see how we feel." And so, they continued their arrangement, but with a newfound awareness of the emotional complexities at play. Their meetings became tinged with a bittersweet tension, a mix of longing and restraint. They still enjoyed each other's company, but the unspoken feelings began to cast shadows over their intimacy. As the weeks rolled into months, Emma and Jackson found themselves at a crossroads once again. The time had come to make a choice, to continue pursuing their relationship openly or retreat back into the safety of their marriages. One fateful evening, as they sat together under the stars, Emma took Jackson's hand and said, "I can't imagine my life without you. I want to take this leap together." Jackson looked at her, his heart racing. "Are you sure? It's a big decision." "I'm sure," Emma replied, her voice steady. "I believe in us." And with that, they made the choice to embrace their love openly, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. It was a journey filled with uncertainty, but one they were willing to take together, hand in hand. In the end, Emma and Jackson discovered that love could bloom in the most unexpected places, transforming their lives in ways they had never imagined. They learned that happiness was worth fighting for and that true love could thrive even in the face of adversity. Their journey was just beginning, and they were ready to embrace it together. As they navigated this new chapter, they faced obstacles, secretive glances, hushed conversations, and the ever-present weight of their choices. But amidst the challenges, their connection deepened. They found solace in late-night talks, exploring not just their physical desires, but their hopes, fears, and dreams for the future. One afternoon, while strolling through a park, Emma paused to watch the leaves flutter down from the trees. Do you ever think about what it would be like if we could be together without any secrets? She asked softly. Jackson looked thoughtful, his expression a mixture of hope and apprehension. All the time, he admitted, running a hand through his hair. But we have to be realistic, our lives are complicated. Emma sighed, feeling the weight of the reality they faced. I know, but I can't help but dream about a future where we don't have to hide. Maybe one day, Jackson replied, taking her hand and giving it a gentle squeeze. For now, we have to be careful, for our own sake and for those we care about. Days turned into weeks as they continued to meet, navigating the delicate balance between their newfound love and their respective marriages. They learned to cherish the moments they had, even if they were interspersed with challenges. Each intimate meeting was a reminder of the connection they shared, and each conversation deepened their bond. Yet, the more time they spent together, the harder it became to ignore the pull towards something deeper. One evening, as they lay in the glow of candlelight, Emma turned to Jackson and said, "I want to know you more, beyond this." Jackson's gaze softened, a slow smile spreading across his face. "What do you mean?" "I want to share everything, the good, the bad, all of it. I want us to be more than just a secret," she explained, her voice filled with emotion. "I want that too," he confessed, his heart swelling with affection. "But the timing, we need to be smart about this." "I understand," Emma replied, feeling a mix of elation and frustration. "I just want us to be honest with each other. No more hiding." As they embraced, each felt the weight of their decision settle in. The conversation marked a turning point in their relationship, one where they would have to confront their realities. But they also knew that love, true love, was perhaps worth risking everything for. They were ready to navigate whatever came next, armed with their shared connection and the hope that their love story could transcend the boundaries they had once set. And so, they took their journey one day at a time, holding on to the belief that they could forge a new path, one filled with joy, love, and the freedom to be themselves, together.